think people are running from issues, and I don't think in this business you're supposed to run from issues. And the fact that everybody's running from the big elephant in the room involving the WNBA and the latest with Coach Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever going on a little tirade during a post-game press conference because people were accusing her of not supporting her player after Sophie Cunningham was essentially, knocked upside the damn head by Dejanay.
Uncovered. Stephanie White's tearful outburst and heated rant blow up in her face as angry fans call for her exit. So what happens when a coach turns against her own supporters? What happens when a pro sports franchise loses total touch with what's really going down on the court and keeps pushing a broken story anyway? We're about to find out. And the damage is massive. The Indiana Fever franchise is spiraling out of control right now, and head coach Stephanie White sits right in the middle of the chaos. This isn't just about wins and losses anymore. This is a full-on trust crisis, a PR disaster, and a fan base that's finally had enough. If you think WNBA drama can't get any bigger, get ready, because the real story behind White's shaky press conference, her questionable tears, and her shocking choice to turn on her own team is finally out in the open. Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're done with the excuses, and let's dig into what just blew up the Fever's locker room. To really get how big this mess is, we need to rewind to the moment that started it all, the play that broke the fans' trust for good. It all kicked off during a rough, physical clash between the Fever and the Chicago Sky. Sky guard Dawana Carrington got tossed with a flagrant 2 after slamming Fever guard Sophie Cunningham in the head and neck. Now normally, a coach stands up for her player right away. You protect your athlete, you defend your team, and you send a clear message that cheap shots won't fly. But White did the opposite. Having once coached Carrington back at UConn, she actually backed her former player, saying the hit wasn't even a big deal to her.
Blitz today. And I knew she would. As soon as that came out of her mouth, I was like, oh, she's going to get destroyed. She thinks whatever backlash she's been seeing was an issue. She hadn't seen nothing yet. You're telling your paying customer to go to hell. And you can't try to backtrack this now. That's exactly what you did. You see this team gets too, I've said this before, this team gets too much attention for her. Plain and simple. That's why I've said before you needed an NBA coach. Somebody that can handle all the scrutiny that's going to come with being the coach of Caitlin Clark. That it is what it is. Every little thing is going to...
Just take a second and think about that. Her own player takes a nasty hit to the neck, and the coach's gut reaction is to defend the person who did it. Fans lost it instantly. The backlash hit so hard and so fast that White had to scramble into full damage control mode. She tried walking it back, claiming she hadn't seen the hit clearly in real time and didn't have the replay in front of her when she first spoke. But nobody was buying it. The damage was done. Fans saw this as a total leadership failure. Instead of owning it, instead of staying calm and leading her team through the storm, White cranked things up even more. Rather than a normal pre-game presser, she gave this fiery, table-pounding speech about the hate and division surrounding her team. She pushed back hard at anyone questioning how she handled the Cunningham situation, slammed her fist on the table more than once, clearly lost her cool, and refused to take any questions. Then came the line that really turned fans against her. She said she'd always lead with love and grace, but her critics could go straight to hell. You just don't do that to the people who buy your tickets. But it seems Coach White skipped that chapter in the crisis management playbook. The league right now is riding a huge wave of new fans and growing media attention. So how does the coach of the most watched team in the WNBA handle that pressure? By losing her temper on camera and telling her own fan base off.
In men's sports, that coach usually ends up getting his ass fired. Stephanie White could be on her way out. The fans appear to be done with her. We got to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get right into things, man. We have to start right here. Okay, here it says, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White was booed by fans prior to a game following backlash over her comments defending Chicago Sky guard Dejanay Carrington after her flagrant 2 foul on Fever guard Sophie Cunningham. Now, we all saw what she had to say, and then she went on this whole tirade before the game, basically telling everybody to F off, go to hell, as a direct quote. She told everybody to go to hell, and the fans booed the hell out of her before the game. Yeah, you told everybody to go to hell, and the fans booed the hell out of you before the game started. This is courtesy of Alexa Philippou. Statement from Indiana Fever team president.
When the backlash refused to die down, White tried a different move, going emotional. She said she's only human, that love wins, and pushed hard on the idea that her team is united and won't be shaken by outside noise. But fans weren't buying the sudden change in tone. They called it exactly what they thought it was: fake tears. A calculated PR stunt to win sympathy from a media world that's always gone easy on her. The gaslight and move on era is over. Fans want accountability, not a performance. They're tired of watching people stir up drama and then play the victim the second the crowd pushes back. And the backlash didn't stay online. It hit the arena too. During the Fever's game against the New York Liberty, White got booed by her own home crowd. Loud, real, and impossible to ignore. Online, the comments turned into a full-blown war zone. Fans called for her job outright. Even Indiana's lieutenant governor jumped in, publicly saying White should be fired. This wasn't just sports talk anymore. It was a full institutional crisis. And here's where the story takes a wild turn. With fans in revolt, politicians speaking out, and the locker room under a microscope, you'd think the front office would cut ties to protect the brand. Instead, they did the opposite. Team president Kelly Krakoff stepped right into the fire and backed White completely. She released a statement saying White had done an incredible job keeping the team focused and unified under insane pressure, and made it clear the coach has leadership's full support.
That folks speak up and put it where the goats can get it. And get down to the bare bones about what's really, really, really going on here and not dancing around the issues. And what disgusts me, listening to so many of these ladies talk about the issues. You're smart, you're articulate, you're educated. You got facts, you got fervor and passion, you've got knowledge, you've got history backing you up. You got a whole bunch of things in your favor, along with the microphone and the lens, to look into the camera and address it with the realness, the sincerity, and the passion and the fervor it deserves. And y'all dancing. There's one person I'm going to give credit for not dancing. And that's somebody I brought up earlier. That's Andrea Carter, my colleague at ESPN, who is sensational. Listen to what she had to say last night.
In reality, all of this emotion is coming from Steph White and what she said post-game about Dejanay, which she said it was a flagrant 2 foul, but she didn't think Dejanay was purposely going for her neck, and that Dejanay is a player that plays hard. That's essentially what Steph White said, and people were going crazy, calling for her job because of that post-game statement. And, you know, I'm so interested in all those people that were piling on and calling for Steph White's job in this most recent week. How many Indiana Fever games have you actually watched? How many games have you actually paid attention to watch the team and what they're doing out on the court? Are you calling for Steph White's job because of who she is as a coach, or are you calling for her job because you watched one clip and you're piling on and you're fueled by hatred and you're finding a space to exercise something that's not related to basketball at all? And that's where we are right now in the W, and that's why it's so frustrating. You can't just talk about basketball. And I look forward to the day, like Steph White said, when this is a space where basketball fans come to pick apart the game and the performance and come to celebrate the talent that we have, and where people are judged based on their basketball thoughts and what happens on the court, and their character is not associated with those things. And we're just not at that place right now.
Hot piece and butter. Hot piece and butter. You remember that game? Or should I say hot piece of butter rather than hot piece of butter? Red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. You're getting closer and closer and closer, because that's where Andrea Carter was going. She's getting warm.
That decision alone is a bombshell. The front office is choosing to protect their coach over listening to an angry fan base. They're drawing a hard line, betting the team's future on a coach who just told her critics to go to hell. The gap between the people running this team and the people watching it has never felt bigger. Basically, management is telling fans their anger doesn't matter, and that leadership will protect its own no matter how bad it looks from the outside. Even Caitlin Clark got pulled into the middle of it, trying to keep the peace. The superstar said she'd talked to White privately, reminding everyone that coaches are human too, trying to defuse a situation that just kept getting hotter.
League, Christine Brennan's on the money. I think you have a way out with this. I'm in agreement with Dre. I think this is the way out. But I don't think they'll do it because all we've watched this league do is get in its own way at every single turn. And at this point, I'm past looking for them to do the smart thing, the logical thing, what's best for business. I'm done looking for them to actually legitimize this league and not make it a pure clown show. I mean, Jason, we just had Sydney Colson, former Indiana Fever, talking about how they need to just go ahead and start their own Black and queer league. I mean, what are we even talking about? It's a circus, man. They have no clue what they're doing. This thing is full of emotion and no logic, and that is the problem.
So, Maurice, and be quick, but don't hurry here, because Steve, I got a question for you that I want to get to, and then I want to transition into a little Pat McAfee. But this rally last night and this blowout victory of the New York Liberty, and I thought the New York Liberty played poorly, seemed to be undermanned, but I'm sure Stephanie White and Kelly Krauskopf and Amber Cox, they're all sitting around. They're all rallying around Stephanie, and this is going to be great, and we're going to make a playoff run, and don't you see how together this has galvanized the team? Do you think it has? Do you think this is going to lead to a run into the WNBA finals?
No, I think if they make a run, it's going to be because Kelsey Mitchell can't miss a shot. She's the most efficient scoring guard in the league. Caitlin Clark is third in the league in scoring and first in the league in assists. If they make a run, it's going to be because of that explosive backcourt. It has nothing to do with galvanizing around Stephanie White. Kelsey Mitchell has a max contract. She's going to be looking to secure an offseason, a long-term deal. And obviously there's a lot for Caitlin Clark to prove. Sophie Cunningham's going to be looking to get paid once again. Their play last night was more about the fact that the New York Liberty, for whatever reason, they got rid of all their athleticism. They couldn't guard on the perimeter at all. And Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell couldn't miss a shot. This was not about Stephanie White.
Steve, I got one more WNBA type question before we transition. I want to play you this clip of Ryan Clark. And on the pivot, he's chiming in on the WNBA, and he's chiming in on Enes Kanter and Royce White, making the point.
Can a handful of kind words from one superstar really wipe away the damage of a coach, basically declaring war on the very fans who fill the seats? Not a chance. And that's the real problem the Indiana Fever are facing right now. Because here's the truth nobody in that front office wants to say out loud. You cannot run a healthy, profitable sports organization when your own head coach is getting booed inside her own arena, and the people at the top are covering their ears instead of listening. That's not leadership. That's denial. And denial always has a price. Think about where this franchise actually stands. A team that was riding the biggest wave of popularity in league history, packed arenas, record-breaking ratings, a fan base growing bigger by the week. And now that same fan base is turning on its own coach in real time. That is not a small crack. That is a structural failure happening right in front of everyone's eyes. The tension inside this organization is not cooling down. It is building. Every single game becomes another test. Every press conference becomes another landmine. Every loss gets magnified because the story is no longer just about basketball anymore. It's about trust, and trust, once it's broken this publicly, does not come back with one soft statement from a star player. Yes, Caitlin Clark stepping in and asking for grace matters. She's the face of this league, and her voice carries weight. But even she can't out-talk video evidence, can't out-talk a fan base that watched their own coach defend a flagrant foul on her own player, then pound the table and tell her critics to go to hell. Words don't erase that. Actions created this mess, and only actions can fix it. So now the front office sits in an impossible spot. Protect the coach, and risk losing the very fans who turned this franchise into a commercial powerhouse. Remove the coach and admit publicly that the crisis was real all along. There is no clean exit here. Every option comes with a cost, and the clock is ticking louder every single week this drama drags on. And that's really the story underneath the story. This isn't just about one coach losing her cool in one press conference. This is about what happens when the people running a franchise decide that protecting their own image matters more than listening to the people who made that franchise valuable in the first place. That disconnect, once it's out in the open, is incredibly hard to walk back. So here's the real question hanging over this entire organization. Is this front office support genuine, or is it just a temporary shield until the outrage cools down? And if the outrage doesn't cool down, if it keeps building game after game, how long before the business side forces a decision that the emotional side has been avoiding? That's for you to decide. Drop your honest take in the comments below. Do you think Stephanie White survives this, or is her exit already written? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next twist in this story, because trust me, this saga is far from over. I'll see you in the next update.